Hey, how's it going? So I have here the Taurus G2C and the Taurus G3C, and I've been carrying the G2C for the past almost 3 years as my EDC Appendix concealed carry handgun for self-defense. And I just picked up this G3C. I found it at Bass Pro Shops for only $179, and I've been wanting it for a long time. And so I thought I'd make a real quick video on some of the key differences to keep in mind when you're looking for an affordable 9mm handgun like this. And I got 8 points that I want to talk about real quick. And so first of all, let's start with safety. So that's the main reason that I moved to the G3C, is that I wanted this same firearm without the manual side safety, because that kind of bulges out to the side, and when you're carrying Appendix, your holster has to make up for it with a little piece right here. And not only that, as I talked about in another video, I've had a bullet go off when I tested the safety. So that's something that I've always wanted. And when you pull it out, you never know if it's in safety or not. It's very comfortable and a nice spot and all, but that's one of the main things that I just did not want anymore. And so when I found this G3C for such a good deal, I was like, awesome, I had to jump on it. And of course it doesn't have that safety. You can get the G3C with the safety still, but this is a newer model without it, which is what I would definitely recommend. The second main difference from the G2C and G3C is the front serration. The G2C has a nice little groove, which looks pretty cool, but the G3C has the serration, which is just a tiny bit better. So you can kind of get a little bit better of a grip when you want to cock it back. The third key difference is the sights. You'll notice on the old style G2C, it has these old sights, which are adjustable from side to side a tiny bit here. But the gap is just pretty wide. Looking down the sights, I did hit them with some of this gel, what's it called, finger polish or finger paint, whatever you call it, nail polish, but it gives it a nice little glow. They come white, but that's pretty nice. And I just hit this today, and this one, the G3C has the Glock style sights, so supposedly you can buy aftermarket Glock sights and switch them out, which is pretty nice. You just kind of hammer this thing out with a screwdriver. But after I added that color, I'm really happy with that. That's good enough for me. I like to keep it simple. They have an option with the plate, so you can put a red dot, but I just don't prefer to have a red dot. I do like a little flashlight, but yeah, the red dot's just not for me personally. The fourth main point, and one of the biggest changes from the G2C to the G3C, is the trigger. You'll notice on the old G2C, there's this kind of weird shaped trigger. It has a very small center safety, similar to a Glock. And the newer G3C has this much larger trigger safety and more of a Glock style shape, or more of a traditional curved shape. And I'm not really sure which one I like better, honestly. But I mean, honestly, they're about the same in my opinion. It's not a whole reason to buy this gun. You know, the trigger's okay. It's not the greatest, but I like it. I don't hate it. I also really like the G2C trigger. I actually maybe like this one better because I'm used to it. But let me show you the release on it. Pretty close. And it also has to where it can reset if it doesn't fire it. You can keep shooting. So you can dry fire it as well, which is pretty nice for practice. And let's test this one out. So it's about the same give. This trigger is a little bit wider, and that spring is a lot stronger in there. Once you get used to this trigger after about 100 shots, it's pretty good. It's not bad. I don't think I'm actually going to replace it. But it's still a little awkward, but it's fine. I kind of like it. The fifth point I wanted to mention is that the G3C has a lot grippier texture on the grip. And I don't know if that's from carrying the G2C for so long and in my pocket and appendix. Maybe it just kind of wore off over time. But I just wanted to mention that the grip on the G3C is extremely grippy. And man, it feels awesome in the hand. Number 6 is the loaded chamber indicator difference on the G2C. You have this little raised thingamabobber here. And I will show you what it looks like when it's loaded. You got this little shark fin, the little red. It's really hard to see the red on it, but it's there. So honestly, I think I prefer the old school shark fin. Maybe it's a mechanism that could go wrong, but I believe it's mechanical. It's just a small spring. So I honestly prefer that because in low light settings, you can pick it up a lot easier. And the G3C simply has a hole right here so that you can see a bullet inside of it. And I will go ahead and show you what that looks like. See, it's in low light settings, it's really difficult to see it in there. It's good to have something, but you know, if you carry concealed, you want to keep one in the chamber anyways. You know, be extremely careful and keep it in a hard case like this. And never touch the trigger ever, unless you're ready to go. But there's many instances where people try to cock it and they're already too late in the fight and they've already been killed. So, and you can do your own research on that, and you know, it's all, everybody has their own opinion on that, and that's okay. But I prefer to keep one in the chamber at all times. So let's go ahead and unload it. The seventh thing I wanted to hit on was the price. If you buy them used, of course you can get them for super cheap. I picked up this G3C, the newer model here. It's the 9X19. I believe it came out about a year or at the most 2 ago without the safety. I got this for $179. I mean, that's crazy. And it came with 2 magazines. Looks like it was never shot. And I paid probably $3 something for this one back about 3 years ago. But I'll put a price in the description, and you know, of course, it's different here and there. But of course, you can pick them up. I believe the G3C brand new is $3 something, whereas the 2C is like $250 or something. It's not really a big difference. And in my opinion, the G3C has a few things that you might as well go ahead and spend a few dollars more and get it. But if you just want the cheapest pistol you can buy that's not a high point, you might as well go for the G2C or possibly even the PT111 Millennium, because it's not a bad pistol. So the 8th and final point I wanted to hit on is that the compact, the G3C, which stands for compact, I believe this is the perfect size for concealed carry. And honestly, it's a little chunky, so if you go a little bit bigger than this, in my opinion, it becomes uncomfortable. And I believe that this is, I mean, it's questionable for if it's, after a while, it's a little uncomfortable. But if you go to like the G3 full size or the G3X, you're looking at a lot fatter of a grip. And that's just something to keep in mind. I am going to go back and try to melt this one down because I bought it for the G2C originally for the safety. But now I don't have that safety, so I can get rid of that. But this pistol is, even though it's a little chunky, it's pretty comfortable right there. I can carry it there all day and not really notice it, drive around, whatever. Or I could even throw it in my pocket in that hard case as well. So just something to keep in mind. If you're going for a little bit fatter, it's just going to be a little more uncomfortable, and that's the honest truth. I don't care what you say, this is a little chunker, and you know, I'm about 170 pounds and 6 foot tall. So maybe it makes a difference if you're a little bit bigger or heck, a little bit skinnier. I believe if you're a little skinnier than me, it'd be really poking into you. But if you got a little belly and you hold it right under there, man, shit, you could probably get away with a bigger pistol. I don't really know, to be honest. But in my opinion, for my body weight, it's a little bit chunky, but it's not bad. Just something to keep in mind. Of course, there's a little cheapy light. You can buy some nicer ones, but it's a cheapy pistol, and I don't want to be too worried about it. So that's why I like it like that. But it's very reliable. Haven't had one misfire with the G3C yet. Shot it about 100 times since I just bought it. This one I can't count how many times I've shot, and the only misfire was due to one bullet malfunction, which is just some cheap ball ammo, and then that safety issue. But I go into detail on another video if you want to check that out. And another thing to keep in mind, last thing I'll mention, is the critical defense or any type of hollow point. For some reason in this pistol, you don't want to load the magazine with a full 12. You want to put about 10 in there, cock one in there, and just have 9 left, because for some reason when it's fully loaded, a lot of people complain about the fact that it doesn't feed perfectly, and I found that to be true myself. So just something that you want to keep in mind and do research. Spend extra money on some extra hollow point and go through 1 or 2 magazines just to make sure that it's good to go, even though it's super expensive. It's like 35 bucks for a 25 pack, but what do you do? But what I do is I carry about 10 bullets instead of 12. So just something to keep in mind. But anyways, just thought I'd hit on those points. Thanks for checking it out, and you guys have a great one. Just let me know if you have any questions.